I pretended to cheat to test my wife's loyalty. Now she's divorcing me. So, yeah. I might be the dumbest man alive. Let me explain. Me, 33M, and my wife, 31F, and I have been married for 5 years, together for 8. She's always been loyal, supportive, and honestly, the best partner I could ever ask for. But lately, I kept seeing posts and stories about people getting cheated on, and not knowing until it was too late. I started overthinking, what if she'd stay with me even if I cheated? What if she doesn't love me and is just comfortable? Or what if our love could stand the test of infidelity? So, like an absolute moron, I decided to test her. I borrowed my friend's apartment and told my wife I'd be working late for a few weeks because of a big project. I even sent fake busy at work texts while I was at the apartment. Then I planted small clues, forgotten receipts, a lipstick stain, which I got from a friend's girlfriend, and even a lingering perfume scent. I wanted to see if she would confront me, fight for me, or just let it slide. A week in, I noticed she was acting different. Colder. Distant. She barely spoke to me, but she also wasn't confronting me. That made me panic. I expected tears, accusations, something dramatic. Instead, she seemed done. Then when I decided I had enough and wanted to confess everything and joke about it, out of nowhere, she handed me divorce papers. I freaked out and asked why, and she just sighed and said, "I don't know who you are anymore, but I refuse to be in a marriage where I'm disrespected like this." She didn't scream or cry, she just looked tired. That's when I broke and confessed the whole thing. I told her it was a test, that I never actually cheated, that I just wanted to see her reaction. She just stared at me for a long time before saying, "So you emotionally tormented me, made me question our entire relationship, and manipulated me for what? To prove something that was never a problem?" She still left. Now, she's confused because she found out I didn't cheat, but she also says she can't unsee how easily I could hurt her for my own ego. She's staying with her sister, and I don't know if I should keep fighting for my marriage or just accept that I destroyed it with my own hands. So, Reddit. AITA? Top comments. Bruh. You didn't just test her, you emotionally manipulated your own wife for what? A TikTok prank idea gone wrong? You made her feel betrayed, lost, and disrespected, and now you're shocked she doesn't want to be with you anymore? If I were her, I wouldn't even be confused, I'd be gone. Forever. Okay, yeah. I get it. I messed up. Like I messed up. But I didn't cheat. I never actually did anything with another woman. Shouldn't that count for something? I know I broke her trust, but I didn't physically betray her. That has to mean something, right? Not your therapist. Dude, you don't get it. She's not leaving because you cheated. She's leaving because you wanted her to think you did. You wanted her to suffer just to prove something to yourself. That's worse than actual cheating, because at least cheaters don't plan the heartbreak ahead of time. Okay, so I read the comments. And yeah, I'm an idiot. I accept that. I ruined my marriage, and I don't even know if there's anything left to fix. But here's what's been happening since I posted. After she left, my family found out. My mom, my dad, my 2 sisters, everyone is on my case. They all know what I did, and while they're disappointed, they don't want our marriage to end over a stupid mistake. They've been reaching out to my wife, practically begging her to forgive me. Even her parents got involved, saying divorce is too drastic and that I was just being insecure. But she's not budging. She told my mom if he could do this to me once, he could do it again. I will never feel safe in this marriage. And that broke me. Like, I actually feel sick. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I spend my nights just staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in my head. What the hell was I thinking? Why did I do this? Like, why did I do this? I had a wife who loved me, who never gave me a single reason to doubt her, and instead of just trusting her, I tore everything apart over an insecurity that never even existed. I keep texting her. I keep apologizing. I told her I would go to therapy, couples counseling, whatever she wanted. She just says she needs time. But I don't know if time will fix this. Reddit, what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I make her see that I didn't actually cheat and that I would never, ever do something like this again? I just want my wife back. I don't even know how to start this. My hands are shaking as I type. I met up with my wife today after weeks of barely talking. She was the one who asked to meet, so I thought maybe, there was hope. We sat across from each other at a quiet cafe. She looked exhausted, like she hadn't slept in days. I felt sick just looking at her, knowing I was the reason for all of this. Then she hit me with something I never saw coming. She said, "I need to tell you the truth before you keep fighting for something that seems already dead." She told me that, for the past few months, a guy at her workplace had been showing interest in her. He was charming, always complimenting her, making her laugh. She never gave him attention beyond friendly small talk because she loved me. But then, when she found the clues of my fake cheating, something inside her broke. She was hurt. Confused. Angry. And in that spiral, she ended up sleeping with him. She said it happened only once, and the moment it was over, said she regretted it. She felt disgusted with herself. But by then, she had already decided our marriage was beyond saving, so she filed for divorce without ever telling me. But now that she knows I didn't cheat, she doesn't know what to do. She cried while telling me this. She said, "I don't see how we can come back from this. Even if we tried, we'd just destroy each other." I couldn't breathe. My whole body felt numb. I wanted to scream, but I just sat there, staring at her, trying to process what I had just heard. This is my fault. I caused this. If I had just trusted my wife, none of this would have happened. She asked me if I still wanted to try. If I could ever forgive her. She said she knows what she did was wrong and two wrongs don't make a right. And now, I don't know what to do. Reddit, I don't know what to do. Top comments. She deserves better. Man, you wanted to see if she'd fight for your marriage, and instead, you pushed her into the arms of someone else. Actions have consequences. You wanted to break her heart, and now you're shocked that it led to something irreversible? This is what happens when you play stupid games. You/OP. I get it. I know. I regret everything, but I still love her. I can't just throw everything away. There has to be a way to fix this, right? Reality check. Dude, the irony is brutal. You made her feel like you were cheating when you weren't, but in the end, she did cheat because she believed you were. Now, you're in the exact position you were trying to test her on. Can you forgive her? Or is this the bed you made? Second chances matter. Man, this is a mess. But if you truly love her, and she truly regrets it, I think there's a chance to rebuild. It won't be easy. It will take years to regain trust. But you need to ask yourself, do you want her back because you love her, or because you can't handle losing her? You made your bed. Stop acting like you're the victim. You played a stupid game. You set the trap. Now that it backfired, you're crying about it? She had no reason to doubt you until you made her doubt you. What did you expect would happen? You made her feel alone and unloved, and she turned to someone who made her feel wanted. You broke her first. She just reacted. Forgive or move on. This is tough, OP. You need to decide if you can truly forgive her, or if this will eat you alive. Don't try to fix things just because of guilt. Therapy is a must, individually and as a couple. If you're not both fully committed to rebuilding trust, it won't work. I've been reading the comments, and honestly, I feel like I'm losing my mind. 1 second, I want to fight for this marriage. The next, I feel like I'll never be able to look at her the same way again. I can't sleep. I barely eat. My mind keeps replaying every moment, the lies I told, the moment she handed me the divorce papers, and now, the thought of her with someone else. It's like a loop of self-inflicted hell. I decided to start therapy. Not for her. Not even for our marriage. For myself. I realize now that my insecurity and paranoia weren't just about her. They were mine. I pushed the person I loved into a nightmare just to soothe my own fears. And now, I have to deal with the consequences. As for my wife, she agreed to go to marriage counseling with me. But she also said, this isn't about fixing what we had. It's about seeing if there's anything left to fix. That hit me hard. Because I don't know if there is anything left. She's still confused. I'm still broken. And neither of us knows if love is enough to undo this damage. I'll keep updating, but for now, I just need to figure out who I am outside of this mess. I don't know how to put everything into words. It's been 6 months since my world shattered, and somehow, we're still here. Not just surviving, but healing. A lot has happened. After my last update, my wife found out she was pregnant. But the child wasn't mine. I almost signed the divorce papers that same day. I stared at them for hours, convincing myself that this was it, that I could never come back from this. But when I looked at my wife, I saw someone who was hurting just as much as I was. Someone who had been caught in the same storm I created. And for the first time, I realized that neither of us had truly been choosing each other, we had only been reacting to pain. Still, I told her I needed space. I moved into a small apartment for a while. We barely spoke except for therapy sessions, which became the one place we could be honest without breaking apart completely. Then, at about 3 months into her pregnancy, she had complications. She lost the baby. I wish I could say I knew exactly how to handle it, but I didn't. All I knew was that when I saw her in that hospital bed, pale and silent, I couldn't leave. Not as her husband. Not even as a friend. Just as someone who once promised to love her. That was the moment everything shifted for me. For so long, I had been drowning in my own guilt, my own anger. I had spent months asking myself why I did what I did, why she did what she did, why life had unraveled the way it did. But none of it mattered anymore. The only thing that mattered was whether I was willing to let love win. I chose love. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't easy. But I forgave her. And more importantly, I forgave myself. We've spent these past few months rebuilding. Talking. Choosing each other, even on the hard days. We are no longer the same people we were before this nightmare, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we had to break to truly understand what we had all along. And now, in 2 months, we're renewing our vows. Not to erase the past, but to acknowledge it. To honor the pain we survived and the love that carried us through it. If I've learned anything from all of this, it's this: love isn't about never falling, it's about standing up together, even when it hurts. This is the last update I'll make. Thank you to everyone who called me out, who supported me, who reminded me that sometimes, the hardest battles are the ones we fight within ourselves. I don't know what the future holds, but for the first time in a long time, I'm hopeful.